Alright guys, welcome back to another Fortnite video. How are you guys doing? Are you having a good day? If you're having a good day, hit that like button down below. But today, I'm going to be showing you the fastest way to get all of the challenges done, all 11 of them for the open water challenges, including the locations of the hideouts, where to find the hidden O in the loading screen, as well as the fastest ways to go about doing all of the challenges with tips and tricks and secrets. So yeah guys, this video will be very helpful, and if you do enjoy it and you want to see more of these guides for the rest of the season, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. On top of that, if you want to help support me, if you appreciate these guides and stuff, be sure to use code TheLlamaster in the item shop. I appreciate that a ton. But let's go ahead and get into it with the first challenge. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it with the first challenge that I want to talk about in today's video. Oh, and also guys, be sure to leave a comment down below of what tier you guys are at. I'm at tier 30, but I did get the head start at the beginning. But yeah, starting it out here, guys, you have the challenge land at Craggy Cliffs, Salty Springs, and Dirty Docks. Now, at first, guys, you may think that the fastest way to get this challenge done is to try and do them in the same match, but that actually isn't the case. It's actually a lot faster overall to do this challenge with the other two that are coming up right after this one, because you can do all of those challenges at the same exact time, which you will see here in just a minute. But yeah, I still got a couple of things about this challenge. Obviously, the location. You have got Craggy Cliffs up at the very top of the map, the top center. It is this location right here, and then Salty Springs is down more so towards the middle of the map, a tiny bit more towards the left. As you can see right there, it's pretty much like really close to the middle. And then finally, Dirty Docks is all the way on the right side of the map over at this location. It's at the right center on the very edge of the map, as you can see. So yeah, I do not recommend trying to land at all of these in one match. I mean, you can, and the way that I would go about doing that is to do it in Team Rumble, because with Team Rumble, you have redeploy enabled. So even after you land on the map for the first time, you can simply build up a ramp, redeploy again at any of these locations, and it'll still count towards the challenge. But again, I would recommend doing this with other challenges, such as this next one here, which is to hide in hideouts in 3 different matches. Now, what is a hideout, guys? Well, it's more simple than you might expect. And if you saw my previous video, link to that will be down below in the description. I showed you guys a bunch of new mechanics in the game, and this was one of them. The hideouts, I'm pretty sure, are things on the map that you can actually interact with to hide inside of them. I don't believe bushes or anything like that count. These are actually interactable things on the map. Like, for example, here at Frenzy Farm, you can hide inside of the haystacks. You simply hold your button to, jump into one of the haystacks, and then you'll be hiding in it. And again, I'm pretty sure this is what they mean by the hideouts. Now, on top of that, guys, there's another thing that you can use to hide in, and those are dumpsters, which obviously can be found at a lot of the built up, like locations like Salty Springs, Craggy Cliffs, and also Dirty Docks. That's right, guys. So with that being said, I would 100% recommend playing 3 quick matches, and each one you start out at a different one of these locations you need to visit, and then when you go to one of those locations, you also look for a dumpster to hide in, and then you'll be working on the 2 challenges at once. And obviously, you have to do the hideout one in 3 different matches anyway, so it works out really well. And in case you missed it, specifically in Craggy Cliffs, there are dumpsters right here, a little bit towards the lower area of the location. And then for Salty Springs, if you go next to the gas station, there is one right there. And then finally for Dirty Docks, there's a bunch around this location, but like, for example, there is one right here, as you can see. Keeping it going here, though, there is a 3rd challenge that you can mix in with these first 2, and that is the challenge search chests at Craggy Cliffs or Misty Meadows. Now, obviously, for this one, you're going to want to do Craggy Cliffs and avoid Misty Meadows. If you still want to do Misty Meadows, that is on the south side of the map. It is like the location, I think, in like the south center. But either way, you still want to do Craggy Cliffs, because that is one of the locations you need to land at for the first challenge. So with that being said, guys, if you go to that location, hide in a dumpster as well, you're working on 3 challenges at once. But yeah, guys, another tip for this challenge specifically is to do Team Rumble for this. You guys probably know that, but for those of you who don't, Team Rumble is amazing because there's less players in the matches. If it's on your side of the battle bus, you often don't have to worry about enemies. And also, I believe chests have a higher spawn rate in Team Rumble over the other modes. So with all of that being said, Team Rumble works amazing for this challenge. Then after that, guys, you have got the challenge eliminate opponents with a sniper rifle, and you only need 2 eliminations for this one. So basically, guys, the way that I would recommend doing this is to again go into Team Rumble. That's by far the best mode for this challenge because you don't have to worry about getting eliminated. Also, it's pretty easy to get eliminations in Team Rumble over any other mode. It's a lot faster as well because everybody's put into like this small circle fairly quickly in the match, so it works out very well. However, guys, for the snipers specifically, you can pretty much use every single one besides the gray rarity one. I would not pick up the gray one. Make sure you get like green or upwards because those are the ones that deal at least 100 damage. And in Team Rumble, a lot of the times people aren't going to be using shield after they respawn, so they'll often have only 100 health, meaning you can get an elimination with just one shot. But again, if you have the gray one, you're going to probably get a hit marker, and that's not going to help you out. That's going to waste a bit of time. But yeah, let's keep it going here with the this is an interesting challenge. Be crouched within 20 meters of an opponent for a total of 10 seconds. Yeah, that's kind of a very weird one, isn't it? Now, I don't think you have to do all 10 seconds at the same time, but either way, the way that I would recommend going about doing this is to not go into Team Rumble, but instead go into solo. The reason that I recommend solo is because at the very start of the match, here is what you're going to want to do. As soon as the battle bus starts flying over the island, and as soon as you're able to jump out, you want to do so and go to the nearest location, or sorry, nearest named location, because a lot of other players are going to be dropping there as well. Now, you maybe want to drop a little bit later than everybody else because you want to spot somebody going to a building or something, and then you want to land in or on top or around that building and simply crouch near it. For the most part, you should be within 20 meters of a player landing at the same building, and that will help you to get this challenge done, especially 10 seconds, because they're not going to be looking for you. They're going to be searching around for loot since it's the beginning of the match, making that 10 seconds very, very easy to get. And also, I'm pretty sure the 20 meters doesn't matter if it's vertical or horizontal, so you can be on top of a building or on like the bottom floor as well. It doesn't really matter. But by far, guys, I think that's the best way to go about doing it. Then after that, guys, you have a fairly simple challenge, and that is to simply deal damage with pistols to opponents. This one, again, is very simple. All you need to do is go into Team Rumble, look around for a pistol. Doesn't matter if it's a gray rarity or a legendary rarity. There are legendary and epic variants, or in other words, purple and orange. So do keep a lookout for those. Those will help you get this challenge done. But for the most part, you know, it's just going to take you a little bit of time to get it done. And then after that, guys, for the search ammo boxes in a single match, this one is pretty easy as well. And honestly, the way that I would recommend doing it is to simply go into Team Rumble and drop at a location that is super far away from the battle bus, both your team's battle bus and the enemy battle bus. And you want to find like a named location if possible, because obviously then you'll have a lot of time to search around for ammo boxes and get this challenge done. However, I will say that this season, it seems like ammo boxes are quite a bit harder to find than last season. I don't think they're as common. So do keep that in mind, but look around for a bit. Also keep an eye out for the new ammo boxes, which are a bit larger. I'm pretty sure those count as well, but just keep looking around and you'll eventually find 7 fairly easily. So yeah. And then after that, guys, you have the challenge, get an elimination from 50 meters plus. Now for this one, I have a couple of tips for it. The first of which is to, again, go into Team Rumble. That's the simplest way to get this done because you don't have to worry about getting eliminated, and it's pretty easy to find people that are 50 meters or further. Now, as for the items that I would recommend using, obviously I would recommend either using a sniper rifle or an AR. If you have good enough aim with your AR, you should be able to get this challenge done. But how far away is 50 meters? Well, I went into creative and I tested it, and I found out that 50 meters is about 13 walls away, or as you can see in this video right here, this is about 50 meters or how far you need to be. So keep in mind it's around that general area, or at least 13 walls is how far away you need to be to get this challenge done and to get an elimination. So yeah, then after that, guys, you have survive storm phases, which is a very easy one as well. This one you can't even really strategize about. Besides, I would recommend doing solo instead of Team Rumble, because Team Rumble you only get about like what, 2 storm circles a game. So I would instead do something like solo, duos, or squads, where there's a bunch of storm circles. If you complete a match, that's at least 5 or 6 maybe. So that's by far the best way to go about doing it, and it will just take time. There's no way to really rush the storm circles. You kind of just have to get into games and take the time to survive in them. Keeping it going here though with the second to last challenge before the O, which is the last challenge on the list. This one is to deal damage within 10 seconds of leaving a hideout. Now again, the hideouts are either the haystacks or the dumpsters. There may be something else as well, but those are the 2 that I know of, and the dumpsters are all around like the named location. So with that being said, I would simply recommend going into solo and landing at the first location that is closest to the battle bus. As soon as you're there, pick up an item and then immediately hide in a dumpster and hope that somebody runs fairly close. Again though, keep in mind you have 10 seconds, so they can be a fair distance away if you see them, or if you hear their footsteps, simply jump out of the hideout, run towards them, and deal a bit of damage. Now keep in mind you also need 150 damage, so if that player does not have shield, you are going to need to do this again and find another player. Then after that, guys, for the final challenge, it is the search the hidden letter O in the open water loading screen. screen. And also guys, if you haven't yet, remember to hit that subscribe button down below because I will be posting these guides for every single week of challenges coming up here. And the best way to know about them is to be subscribed and have notifications turned on. But yeah, the loading screen is this one right here. You unlock it from obviously completing these challenges. And as you can see, the hidden O is pretty hard to find, but it is actually under the building right here. If you can barely see it there, it's very tiny. I had to zoom in a bunch to find it, but it is right there. So going on to the map, guys, that location is inside of Craggy Cliffs. It is right under the restaurant looking over the water. So if you go to this specific area, it should be under here around this general spot. Again, if you get close to it, it will simply pop up if again you have this challenge ready to complete. But yeah, simply land at this location. Doesn't even matter what game mode you're in. Obviously I'm in playground though, so it's not going to show up, but pick it up and that is the final challenge of these missions. But anyways guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more guides because I'll be posting these guides for all of the weeks of challenges coming up here soon. On top of that guys, you can check out some of my previous videos here, such as on the top left, the new world challenges and where to find like the letter in that, and then below that some more fun videos I'm sure you guys will enjoy. But other than that guys, again, I hope you enjoyed today's video and I will see you in the next one.